Right now at 10, a brand new mugshot to go along with a new murder charge for Barry Morphew. He's back behind bars tonight and being held on a $3 million bond.
Tonight, the new evidence that will soon have the husband of the late Suzanne Morphew back at the defendant's table. Good evening, I'm Bart Bidsell.
And I'm Heather Skold. Thanks for making us your choice for your news at 10 o'clock. We begin with those big new developments tonight in a case we've followed for more than 5 years now.
Barry Morphew, the Chaffee County man whose wife Suzanne went missing on Mother's Day of 2020, has once again been indicted for first-degree murder. This time, the charges were handed down by a grand jury in the 12th Judicial District based out of Alamosa because that's where Suzanne's body was found. Barry Morphew back in custody tonight after being picked up in Arizona today.
He's been charged for Suzanne's murder before, but prosecutors dropped the case in 2022, citing missteps and even some unethical behavior by investigators in the 11th Judicial District, which was headed up at the time by District Attorney Linda Stanley. That all changed in September of 2023 when Suzanne's remains were discovered just off a remote road in Saguache County near the town of Moffett.
When Barry Morphew's previous charges were dropped, it was done in such a way that the case could be refiled if new evidence were to develop.
And that's exactly what happened now. The discovery of Suzanne's remains allowing new forensic evidence to come into play. The location where she was found also allows a whole new team of investigators to take up the case. KRDO 13's Paige Reynolds was in Alamosa today, where she heard from investigators and from one of Suzanne Morphew's closest friends.
Tonight, Barry Morphew is in custody in Arizona, held on a $3 million cash-only bond. Prosecutors say his story never added up and that new forensic evidence finally connects him to Suzanne Morphew's murder.
The grand jury has indicted Barry Morphew on the single count of murder in the first degree.
A new charge handed down Friday in connection with the 2020 disappearance of his wife, Suzanne. Prosecutors say Suzanne's body, discovered in a shallow grave in Saguache County, revealed traces of BAM in her system, a powerful tranquilizer used to sedate deer. At the time of her death, there was only one person in the state who had a prescription to own and use the drug cocktail, Barry Morphew.
It was pretty horrid to read that was found in her body because that's a pretty slow death. It wasn't easy, fast. Right.
Investigators found tranquilizer darts and a dart gun in the Morphew home. They even found the cap to a needle in the family's dryer. All evidence, the prosecutors say, paints a picture of premeditation. It's news that friends of Suzanne say they've waited years to hear.
I got emotional in there because there's been about 4 of us that have been really together through this whole thing, and we've all just kind of watched it unravel.
Cell phone and truck GPS data also seem to contradict Barry's original alibi. He says he was on a job site in Broomfield when he got the news of Suzanne's disappearance, but that data shows him driving all around Broomfield and long periods when both of his devices were turned off. Investigators say those gaps, combined with Suzanne's final texts and the forensic timeline, help build a case they believe shows this wasn't a spontaneous act.
You're right where you belong. And I don't think you're getting free this time.
Prosecutors say the case is built on years of work by the FBI, CBI, and local sheriff's offices, and that they've never stopped fighting for justice for Suzanne.
Every unsolved murder is a tragedy, and we must never give up on our efforts to find answers in these cases.
Morphew is now facing extradition back to Colorado to stand trial in the San Luis Valley. Reporting in Alamosa, Paige Reynolds, KRDO 13.
We will continue following the case as it moves forward.